Great Xbox showcase today. I cannot stress that enough. I know you saw the title of this video already, you saw the thumbnail, and yeah, we're going to talk about that, but I just have to start off with saying that it really was a fantastic Xbox showcase. This negative thing I'm going to talk about is definitely by no means the highlight of it. There's just so much that we could talk about with the show that was good, so much that has already been talked about, I'm sure, by many other streamers and commentators. Yeah, it just was great. I would highly recommend looking it up. It was about 2 hours long today. Main thing was that just a ton of games were revealed. It kind of has broken away from a lot of the shows, you know, the E3s that I've seen them do in the past, where they focus a ton of time talking about hardware. They really didn't do that in this show. It really was just game reveal after game reveal after game reveal, and at the end of the day, that is exactly what I want to see out of these game showcases. And the game reveals themselves looked great. I'm really hyped for Age of Mythology Retold and maybe even the new Doom game. A few other games as well that were shown that I hadn't really heard of before today. They also looked really good. I might have to check them out when they come out. And then of the 2-hour show, the last 30 minutes showcased Black Ops 6, which is the upcoming Call of Duty. And once again, with Black Ops 6, I also have to say, overall, it was great. Everything that was revealed with this game, I think, was just a huge W. The multiplayer, the campaign, the zombies, it all looks fantastic. Even, like, logistics type stuff, like the way that prestiges are gonna work again, that all was great to me. And having it available on Xbox Game Pass on day one, while at the same time getting rid of the whole exclusivity deal for, you know, the first week or two of the game, I think that's just a huge win. So yeah, it really was all good in terms of everything that was shown in the show, and a lot of people are talking about that, as they should. But something that was revealed kind of after the show, and not even like revealed necessarily by Activision, but rather appeared specifically at the very bottom of the brand new Call of Duty Black Ops support page that has now been listed on Activision since the game is now officially revealed. So this is something that people took notice to, where it's basically like a Q&A, and one of the questions it says on this page says, is an internet connection required to play Call of Duty Black Ops 6? I didn't even think that would be a question. I would have never really thought about that, but actually the answer it says is yes. An internet connection will be required to play not only the multiplayer, but any game mode, including campaign, which is very odd, and the reason for this is something called texture streaming. Yeah, I had never heard of this. If you're more into tech than I am, maybe you know what it is. Now, Google's AI told me that texture streaming is a system in video game engines that adjusts the resolution of textures to maintain visual quality while managing memory usage. So yeah, it sounds like it's basically something that increases the resolution while not using as much memory, and that is consistent with what it says in this Q&A section of this page, where it's saying that they're doing this, Activision's doing this so that they can deliver, quote, the highest quality visuals while also reducing the game's overall storage space. So yeah, this is very interesting. I mean, the whole thing with keeping a game always online kind of reminds me of Xbox with the reveal of Xbox One, which was like 11 years ago now. Yeah, they said back in 2013, I believe it was, that the Xbox One was always going to have to be online, and that was to, you know, increase the user experience, and that was met with a ton of backlash, and they ended up doing a 180 on that. So this is a little different because it's just for a game, it's not for a console, but still, yeah, I think this kind of just leads to the question now of where are we at with this now? You know, 11 years has passed since that Xbox reveal, and that's just kind of what I am comparing this to. I'm sure there's been other examples as well, but mainly just with this whole thing of having to keep a console or keep a game online always with no exceptions. Like, where are we at with this now? You know, what is the general attitude that people have toward this? I mean, generally speaking, obviously I would say that, you know, in the past 10 or 11 years now, just throughout the world, obviously as, you know, technology improves, quality of life improves, I'm sure, you know, per capita for the average gamer, you know, more gamers now versus, you know, a decade ago have internet connection and can always have internet connection, you know, no problem. But it still is just a matter of why make it an absolute requirement? And I think that's kind of where people are at with this still today, myself included. So I've seen some people mention that I guess previous Call of Duties, very recent Call of Duties, have given you the option to turn on or off this texture streaming. So yeah, to me, it's like, why make this a requirement? Obviously, I think it does just come down to the whole storage thing with this game. So I don't know, as Call of Duty has kind of gotten backlash, you know, every year in the past decade or so, that, you know, their games just keep getting bigger and bigger in terms of size, in terms of gigabytes of storage. Maybe this is their way to kind of reduce some of those complaints without everybody, without the average Call of Duty gamer actually knowing about this. Like, I'm sure the average Call of Duty player is probably always connected to the internet, so maybe this is something they just will never even notice that it is a requirement, and maybe all of a sudden they'll see, oh, the storage that is required for this game isn't as high. So I don't know, maybe this is Activision's way of trying to reduce criticism of the size of their games. That's really all I can break it down to, in my opinion, when I think of it. I still just think it's very bizarre that they wouldn't give gamers the option for this. I mean, at the end of the day, all around the world, there are definitely many, many people who don't always have, or maybe do not at all, have an internet connection, so it's very weird to not make this optional. Again, like I said, I don't want just the negative to be the takeaway here. I really do think it was a W Xbox showcase and a W Call of Duty reveal. I just think this small detail is very odd, very bizarre, and even though the year is 2024 and we've obviously come a long way with technology and the availability of internet, not everybody, not every gamer in the world has the amenities of always having internet. So with a lot of justifiable hype with this game, I think this is something that Activision should address before the game is released. Thankfully, they have time to do that because it doesn't come out for over 4 months now, so maybe they will change this before it comes out.